coming through. So, hey everybody, this is the Cop Block Radio Show, and we have some special guests with us tonight. We have who we have? We have Robert and Nathan from the Peaceful Street Projects of Sandusky, Ohio, which is awesome. So, you guys have had some fun run-ins with law enforcement the past couple of weekends. You guys want to talk about getting pulled over?
Yeah, that was the one that was driving, and
It was pretty interesting. You should probably start with we decided that we were going to do a rolling cop block for a while before the bar started closing. And what was it, about 2 blocks down the street, Robert, that we encountered our first traffic stop? So
yeah, exactly.
So we all jumped out and got cameras going, and this is like some fish out of water stuff for Sandusky Police Department. They do not know how to handle this, or even if they can handle it, which seems to be that they're playing on the timid side of things. But then what, we ended up going through a couple of bad neighborhoods, because any cop blockers know that the revenue collection agencies and policy enforcers love to target low-income neighborhoods. So first neighborhood we went to, there was an encounter that we recorded. So by the time they pulled us over, we had already recorded 2 of their encounters, and it was the same set of officers that was involved in 2 of them, and they were part of the crew that pulled us over. Yeah, Robert, you want to take it over?
They knew we were out there. I mean, when they went to pull us over, they'd seen our vehicle at the other stops and knew it, that we were involved with something to do with recording them. They had a clue what we were doing, but they didn't really know who we were. Besides, they ran our tags. I'm sure they knew who I was.
Well, I think the big Peaceful Streets Project Sandusky sticker in your back window might have tipped them off a little bit.
Yeah.
So you want to, Nathan?
They wanted. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Nathan, you were the one who started the PSP Sandusky, correct?
That is correct.
And how'd that come about?
Well, spent the past couple of years down in the ATX with John Bush and Antonio, and have done a number of protests and street actions with them guys. And as fate would have it, found me back here in my hometown when a local resident had their dog shot by a police officer. Well, this person, friends of my family, and she kind of knew that I was involved in activism, so she reached out to me, and we ended up putting together a nice little protest and getting quite a bit of press in the Sandusky Register over the Justice for Lucy. We got the dash camera, which showed without a doubt to anybody with 2 eyes and a brain that this cop shot this dog for absolutely no reason. Then you read his police report, it reads totally different than what happened on camera. Robert ended up coming out. We did a big protest, and everybody brought their dogs out with signs tied around the dogs' necks that said, "Please don't shoot me." So we had a good time, raising awareness for that. So just in the process of putting this whole thing together, I started talking to Robert, and other local people around town started reaching out to me, knowing that I had been involved in activism for the past couple of years. In which case, I was like, "Hey, man, maybe it's time. Maybe this part of the country is ready for that message of liberty and what it truly means to live free." And no one's living free when the United States' prison population just passed Stalin's gulags at the height. I mean, anybody that's telling me that they're free right now absolutely has no idea what's going on in the world. But that's kind of how it started here in Sandusky, and it's just been an overwhelming reception. I mean, of course, you're going to have the trolls that come out of the woodwork, but I mean, it's been overwhelming reception. We just yesterday had a record number of likes on our Facebook page. About half the amount of likes as Sandusky Police Department's Facebook page has had in 2 years, we got yesterday.
Nice.
So, yeah. So if that says anything about people in Northern Ohio and looking and seeing things as they truly are now, then nothing would make me happier than to get back to Austin, Texas before I see another snowflake. But that being said, we can't choose when and where we get called into action. You just got to have your eyes open to see the opportunity and jump on it.
Yeah, it seems that Northern Ohio is a little different than where I am. I'm in Columbus, and the scene here is a little lacking, to say the least. When Pete Air came through, I was the only one who met up with him, which was kind of sad. So I'm glad to see that you guys are doing good up there. So
yeah, I recognized what he was talking about, and I heard everything. I got really involved because it was like a breath of fresh air running into Nathan. So nobody around here really discusses those things that are going around the nation and the rest of the world. It's crazy talk around here. It was nice to be able to relate to somebody and share our views. And
I forgot how lonely it could be. When I went to Austin, it was completely a switch on, totally different. Because here, before I left a few years ago, I mean, everybody was rolling their eyes at everything I said about the police state. And I get to Austin, and it's like everybody's rolling their eyes if you're not aware of the police state. So it is pretty different. I'm sure that's the same way it is, with the Keene crew. And it looks like you're starting to become small little areas popping up with the thanks of social networking and the internet and the ability for people to broadcast like we're doing right now. This is why do you think they want HIPAA and SIPA and SOPA and all that good stuff? Because this is one of those intangibles that they couldn't add into their
No,
militarization equation.
yeah. This is completely unstoppable to an extent. I mean, this is a huge feat for us. We're doing stuff that we never could have done doing this.
Yeah, so going back to what's kicked off the conversation. So you guys were out doing cop blocking, or you had kind of a roaming cop watch, and you got pulled over, and a lot of police decide to show up at your particular traffic stop.
Yeah, barking German Shepherd canines and the whole 9 yards.
Our car was surrounded with armed men, and then there was 4 cop cars surrounding our vehicle, and then the dog was barking. Huge scene. You'd think a explosive device got called in or something. I mean, they just rushed to us, and it was for a failure to signal, which...
Well,
that's a hairy thing there. I mean,
not really letting them off the hook anymore. But we had right before they had pulled us over, we had seen another traffic stop that we were getting ready to go to, and we had actually pulled into the parking lot of the dollar store that they had this vehicle pulled over in. And by the time we pulled in and we're getting ready to park, it must have been the end of the traffic stop because the car was pulling away. And it was kind of like, well, it's kind of pointless to get out with the video cameras right now. So we started pulling out, and it was at that time that the 3 marked cars jumped right on the bumper of Robert's car. And it didn't take them too long to turn on their Mars lighting system, indicating an emergency situation. What I thought was funny in the video was there's a part where Robert only had his window down so far, and the cop is trying to stick the ticket through the window. And he was saying that there wasn't enough room to stick the ticket through the window. But if you watch the video, it reminds me of O.J. Simpson trying on gloves. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually just did that at a checkpoint 2 weekends ago. I just rolled down my window enough that you could probably fit a fist in, but that was about it. So it's a good tactic to take when you're dealing with a traffic stop to at least kind of protect your personal space a little bit.
Well, yeah, well, that's part of their whole thing, is sticking their face in your window and saying, "Hey, I smell booze," or "Oh, someone in here's been smoking the reefer," and then that they're trying to get probable cause with that. And I mean, he accused me of not having my safety restraint in like a good slave, and where I corrected him. If you listen on the video, I actually accused him of trying to fabricate probable cause. What's funny is he didn't even think about asking me for my ID after that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard. Well, we've discussed before. I mean, just what you guys are out there doing with video cameras is terroristic.
It is.
It is. You are a huge threat to them by doing what you're doing.
Well, yeah, and just think about the fact that the past 2 Mondays in Judge O'Brien's municipal court, it's probably been a little quieter than it's been in a really, really, really long time, which means that we're doing our part in trying to starve the beast.
Yeah.
You're hurting their revenue generating.
That's
We've been out the past 2 weekends and haven't filmed an arrest yet. And considering the amount of manpower, body armor, guns, K-9 units, and the Department of Homeland Security, that should tell everybody anything they need to know.
Yeah. Downtown was on lockdown.
Yeah, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, Bouncer was trying to get people to leave, and there was these 3 girls that I guess he got a little aggressive with, and one of the girls had a boyfriend there that said, "Hey man, don't be touching on the ladies, don't be pushing on the ladies," and the bouncer got really loud, like, "I wasn't doing that, I didn't touch them." It turned into like an argument, but the bouncer actually was the loudest person, and it started a flurry of, I mean, they were coming from left and right and everywhere, and before they actually stopped, and we pulled up, real close and started filming, and as soon as we started filming, the argument just disintegrated, and people started going back inside, but the cops were pulling up and stopping at about the same time. Now the argument was over, but the place got surrounded, and it was just like, everybody time to go, and they tried to take everybody that was in the bar and flood them out into the streets, and then the police were there stopping people left and right. "What are you guys doing? Where are you going?" And of course luckily there was about 5 of us on duty that night, and we hit every interaction we could keep up with, and like Nathan said, there were no arrests. So that's an interesting factor. I don't think we had anything to do with that per se, but I don't think it went down the way they had hoped. I thought, they might have been counting on a little bit of, change off of that operation, is what it seemed like. It was tactful. It was like a playbook, something right out of a playbook.
Do you guys have some positive interactions with the public?
Yes, we did.
Oh yeah, most definitely so. Everybody that sees us out is just like, at first they can't figure out what we're doing, because it's just that whole mindset that public school beat into all of us. They just don't understand what we're doing, and I've noticed that it sometimes sometimes it takes actually telling a person twice, hey, I'm down here filming the cops, we're keeping them in check, we're keeping everybody honest, we're trying to hold those accountable who seem to never be accountable for, whatever it is that they're accused of doing, where the rest of us, I mean, if one of us did half of the stuff that these guys do because they're wearing a ounce of tin pinned to a special costume, we'd be in prison forever. That's so that people will hear you, and finally it sinks into their head what you're doing, and next thing you know, they're just enamored by it. They just love the idea. But I think that also has something to do with we're down at the bar when it closes, and half the people we're interacting with are they're just tore up.
Intoxicated under the state's
But
terms.
I mean, being intoxicated is not a reason to be thrown into a cage. Even being intoxicated and being lippy isn't a reason to be thrown in a cage. And all that's going to happen by sending a bunch of thugs, militarized dudes all up into a situation that's already volatile, you got people drinking, it's going to do nothing but escalate it every single time.
And something to point out, because we were filming, most people weren't as rowdy and as loud as they might have been. People were more reserved. They seen us out there with cameras, so no arguments really took place except that one with the bouncer that started the whole thing. But after that, everybody was just kind of quiet. And
well, you forgot about we caught one guy. A couple of guys climbed up on the fire escape of one of the buildings. The police were called. Police were interacting with those guys. And those two guys were the only two guys that had a problem being filmed. And they had a real problem being filmed. We're like, all right, dudes.
not before that.
If you don't want us keeping things accountable, then, have at it. We'll shut our cameras off.
They were all in the camera smiling, going, hey, what are you guys doing? And then later on, they were up on the fire escape. And when they were talking to the cops, then they didn't want nothing to do with us. Started bad-mouthing us. Filming.
Yeah, it's sounding like the analogy of the camera is the new gun kind of holds true, where the old saying goes, an armed society is a polite society. So it kind of sounds like a citizen filmed in public tends to be a little more polite when they know that people might be seeing it in the future, and that's kind of the same thing with why filming the police is important, because if they know that people are going to be able to see this later, then it might change their behavior on what they're doing.
Well, and then you also show other people. You set an example, and you show other people. You teach them rights, and there's nothing more empowering to a good, free human than to truly understand your rights. Now, does that lift the oppression right away? Absolutely not. But that's what I think we've got a shot at. We're not changing the system, and because the system isn't broken. It's fixed. It's all we can do is work on changing the culture. And I mean, I've heard Antonio say this, and I've heard other people mention this in other areas. Stefan Molyneux with spanking. We can change the culture. We can set examples. We can change the culture. And if we can show our communities how to go out and exercise your rights, how to go out and hold these public servants accountable, then, it's not just the peaceful streets cameras that these guys got to be worried about. They got to be worried about every single person that has a pulse, because every single one of them probably has a smartphone with a camera in it.
Mm-hmm. So, go ahead.
The police are the most vulnerable to be filmed. I mean, there's a lot of other factors in the equation that equate to the problems that we have with this fixed system. But we're not always able to get behind those closed doors and film the things that go on that, make the city's policies and things of that nature. But we're able, to affect their pocketbooks in a way by being able to reduce arrests, if anything. They're gonna, feel that eventually. The more we get out, and if we can make a bigger impact each and every time we go out, the bigger problem we're going to have, not with the police, but probably with the city itself. It's good to be able to get out there and interact with people, because this is like our second time now we've gone out, and it's still new to everybody. I mean, a lot of people are kind of like, especially the women, they're like, "Oh, he's filming. I don't want to be filmed." But a lot of the guys, once you explain what you're actually doing, they're really in tune, and they're like, "Yeah, I really like that. I really like that." So the more people we can reach while we're filming, and get our message out there, of that we're actually there for them. We're not troublemakers. We're not trying to, throw any, people under the bus. But we do want to catch everything on video and document everything, and it's for their interest and ours. We owe it to each other to want to do, things like that.
All right. We threw out before we started, if anybody wanted to ask any questions, to post them up on the Facebook page.
I just pulled it up, yeah.
So one of them was, how do you deal with rotten police in the world? This came out of what's been going on over in the Rochester, New York area, and let's see. It looks like they're dealing with police who they fear retaliation of, their names being on anything to try to get these particular police officers exposed for whatever they're doing. So, do you guys have any suggestions on what some people might do?
Well, first thing I would say is anybody that's concerned about getting their name or their face out in fear of retribution, I just got to tell you to remember Ruby Ridge. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but them folks moved to a mountaintop to try to get out of the system, and it found them. So get out there, man. Get your face out there. Get your information out there. There is a network that will back you up to the ends of the earth. Now, no one can guarantee your protection. No one. You can't guarantee your protection. But what you can do is the right thing. And, that's the choice that you can make. Our fate is our fate. But what you can do during the cradle and the grave is take a stand on something. What was it? Jefferson said that all it takes for evil to win is for a good man to do nothing. Socrates said your silence is your consent. So I can understand if you don't want to put yourself out there. I can understand that. And I'm not going to judge you if that's what you choose to do. But just know that nothing is going to get better unless you take a stand.
Mm-hmm. So you want to talk about what you guys are doing this summer for your little gathering?
Yeah, we got a big summer planned. We've got Know Your Rights training session coming up on the 24th of this month. That's a Friday. Hoping to get everybody out, and we're going to we're just going to do it in the the north lawn of the Erie County Courthouse here in Sandusky, Ohio. And if there's any officials listening right now, this might be the first they're hearing of it, because we haven't asked for permission. We're not going to ask for permission, nor do we feel we need to ask for permission. So it's so we're gonna, just so people know, you come on out, and we're gonna show you how to make a peaceful stand and how to assert yourself, because these clowns have no power that you did not consent. So, and then the next night, on Saturday, the 25th, we're going to be doing another cop watch. We'll probably start the night out with a roving cop watch, and go maybe take care of some of the tourists that are coming into this godforsaken, dead, broke town. I mean, come on, guys. Can't we let these guys spend some money at some local businesses instead of, like, just raping them through our court system? I think that might do more good for the economy and for our community than your silly costumes. So we're going to be doing a big cop watch on the 25th. So far, there's been a big RSVP to it. I'm going to guess even more. So hopefully we're going to be able to break into crews and go. You know, we're going to keep our community safe and give them the air to breathe that they can go out and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about somebody throwing them in a cage just because it's a revenue opportunity. Then, we don't have a date for it yet. We're working hand in hand with Peaceful Streets Project Austin, and hopefully with some of the other Peaceful Streets Project chapters, which we've had a bunch just recently launched. We've got New York City, we've got New Orleans. What are some of the other ones, Robert? North Carolina, Hawaii, Honolulu just did one. But we're trying to set up a police accountability summit. Actually, trying is the wrong word. We are going to set up a police accountability summit, which is going to be a day-long event. We're going to have speakers. We're going to try to bring in speakers from all over the country to talk about police abuse, how to assert yourself peacefully. We're going to have some workshops as far as your rights when it comes to recording police. And then hopefully when it's all said and done, we'll go out for a big old cop watch and have a good time.
We're going to be hitting Ohio Bike Week pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about Ohio Bike Week. We've got an entire week-long effort we've got planned. What is it? The 6th, June 6th through the 12th or 11th, I believe. It's going to be a week-long initiative, and we're going to be down making sure that people aren't getting targeted during that tourist event either.
Where's that going to be?
It's right here in Sandusky.
Okay.
The Ohio Bike Week North Coast Thunder Rally or something that it's called. But it's a huge event. All kinds of big bands and free music, and it's basically they close off the entire downtown Sandusky for a week, and it's just a big festival atmosphere. And what our goal is to reduce arrests by 30% from last year. That's Peaceful Street's goal this year.
That's an honorable goal.
Hey, you know, if we can do it, then, you know, first, how much money have we starved the beast? How much money have we kept in the pockets of peaceful, non-violent people just because they went out and had a drink and got a big revenue bullseye put on their back by a thug with a badge? You know, so if we can cut down arrests by 30% from last year, I will feel that every bit of work that I've poured into this will have been a complete success.
I mean, that's one of those instances where a lot of these people are from far out of town, and it's unlikely that they are going to travel to come to a court date. They're probably just going to, if they are just getting fined, they'll just pay the fine because they're not going to travel who knows how many miles, hundreds of miles probably for some of them. So, yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's absolutely correct. And if
they know it.
If we can provide an atmosphere, I mean, maybe these guys might not even know that Peaceful Street Sandusky was there, but if we can provide them with the atmosphere to come back next year and spend money on local businesses and try to do something about this horrible situation that we find our country in. What is it? Detroit's completely insolvent now. I mean, it's pretty scary, and if we do not start coming together as a community and start coming up with solutions to our community problems that don't involve coercion or a gun, then we're in bad shape.
I agree with that. Now, we had another question on the Facebook page. This obviously, Pete already knows the answer to this. I would hope so. But he threw it out there. He put it on the Facebook page. But he asked, what would you suggest the individuals who see misdeeds done by some folks wearing badges do in their own area to change things for the better, and what concrete steps might be advisable? Now, obviously, I see you guys are already taking that first leap, I believe, at doing that.
The first thing you got to do is you got to be videotaping before the police abuse occurs. Because
that doesn't always happen.
No, you're right about that. But that's why we've got to change this culture. We got to get people thinking that as soon as they see a police or any government state official interacting with a citizen, that get out that video camera and start recording.
While I was downtown filming, there was these two girls that passed the camera, and one stuck her head in the view and was like, "Why are you recording?" And the other girl said, "I know, right? I'll sue you." And I was like,
half of them probably don't even understand that half the buildings around the street have cameras pointed at them at the same exact time.
That whole culture of mentality where people are like, "Oh, I'll sue you, I'll sue you." I'd like to see them feel like, well, if I see cops doing something wrong, I'm going to film them. I'm going to film them, not I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you.
Yeah.
Change, have that culture shift.
Well, a couple other things that Peaceful Streets does is what's known as the police complaint department. And that's where we set up a table outside of the county jail with some bottles of water, maybe some cigarettes, a cell phone, and we meet people as they're coming out of the jail and ask them, how they were treated. Do they need a ride somewhere? Do they need to make a phone call? Here's a bottle of water. Here's a pack of peanuts. To kind of hear from people that are just coming out of a cage, their experience while it's still fresh in their mind. And another thing that Peaceful Streets Project New York, just a new initiative that they started, is actually writing tickets to police. So that's something that I think is got a bright future if we do it right.
I saw that. I was really hoping. I posted on it, but I haven't seen a reply on it yet. If they had the editable document, so people could adjust it to their city of choice. So.
Yeah, well, like any grassroots effort, you know how this stuff kind of goes. I'm sure that'll be available at some point in time, but it's just such a new idea that it's maybe, I don't know, it could be, they could have edited it by now and made it a little more regional friendly, but hey man, the idea's out there and the idea's bulletproof, and if Peaceful Streets Project New York doesn't do it, I'm sure somebody else will.
Yeah, I really like the idea that you had about being outside the jail when people are getting out to give them a phone call or help them out get on their way that they need to get to. So I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. I wish more people would do that. That's a good one.
That's the first time I've ever heard anything like that, and I like that. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Matter of fact, and if Antonio's listening, we're just waiting for our banner, and we're going to start doing ours, and we'll be videotaping those and putting them online as well.
Good stuff. Now, obviously, with along those lines of that question, obviously community outreach, huge thing, which obviously you guys are doing, and that works just about anywhere. You go out, talk to people, film the police, all that good stuff. And then other than that, what?
Did you lose your train of thought?
I did. I lost. I had something more to say, and then it's just gone.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, like I said, anybody out there that's wanting that is down with the philosophy of what we are doing, don't start a chapter. If you don't feel comfortable starting a chapter, look for a chapter of CopBlock or a chapter of Peaceful Streets that's in your area. More than likely there is one. Donate something to that chapter so they can get out there and be giving you better video to watch, better video to share. But there's so many different ways of going about supporting this philosophy of holding these people accountable. if it's sharing videos, if it's donating a little something, if it's actually going out and participating in a cop watch, or participating in a police complaint department, or participating with some jury nullification outreach or a know your rights training. Don't let anything stop you, because there is a network of people out here that will support you. We will support you. We will have your back, because we all understand that we couldn't do this if we didn't have the network.
Mm-hmm. No, completely. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, Eric.
Do you remember what you were going to ask?
Well, yeah. No, if they got nothing more to say, basically, obviously I know we're going to put links down below how to get a hold of you guys, but I don't know if you know them off the top of your head, if you want to announce them, where you guys can be reached at, what your guys' sites are, YouTube page.
Well, it's we got Facebook.com/Peaceful Streets Project, I'm pretty sure is the URL to that one. And then we get the Twitters here, that's or twitter.com Peaceful Streets Project Sandusky, or PSP Sandusky, at PSP Sandusky is how you can follow us on Twitter. I'm still getting used to the Twitter. Gmail is Peaceful Streets Project Sandusky at gmail.com. And, reach out to us. Anything that we can do to help you to be more active, we'll do it. We'll put you in touch with anybody that's in your area that we know. There is I can't stress how large of a network we have, and how possible this is for us to turn this all around right now before it gets any worse. But yeah, connect up with us on Twitter's at PSP Sandusky, or Facebook.com Peaceful Street Sandusky. Or you can just go to peacefulstreets.com and connect through the main chapter, which that should connect you to all the other chapters.
Cool.
Also, we have a YouTube channel where all our videos will be posted. People can keep up with the latest videos that we've captured. If anybody's interested out there, I'm the administrator of the Facebook page, and I'm open about my post announcing who I am. Anybody can reach out to me that's interested, wants to get involved, or just wants some information in general. Just hit me up on Facebook, IM me.
Cool.
Happy to help.
Awesome. Good. I know we support what you guys are doing and all about. We're more than happy to bring you guys on here and let you guys talk. And
Yeah.
what we're trying to do basically nationwide, anybody that wants to get on the show and do this, we're in full support of just about any of these groups that are involved with police accountability.
Let's go ahead and start figuring out a time that maybe we can get Antonio and Danny, Antonio from Austin and Danny from New York, and maybe we can even get Derek from Houston.
It'd be really, really awesome to be able to connect with some of the other chapters in CopBlock. Just be able to reach out to different areas of the country and share ideas even.
Definitely. I think that's kind of what we wanted to do. I think what you guys have brought to the table tonight really helps, and I hope it energizes or re-energizes people who have feel like they might be spinning their wheels a little bit, and know that there is a network out there, and we're all out here trying to help out and assist as much as we can. And this is I think it's a fun platform to be able to have people to come on and talk about what they're doing in their area, and hopefully it motivates people in other areas to take action and try to build in their area if they can, and I think that's a great idea to spread.
Absolutely.
I hope
this can pick us off one by one, but it's pretty tough to do anything with us united.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope this guys pumps you guys back up too. Obviously, you guys are probably doing all right. But I know coming on here probably give you a little pump up, get you guys ready to go for your next time
Well,
you
heck
guys
yeah,
go out.
man.
Be totally excited to do it again.
Well, dude, we will definitely be doing this again, and like I said, just keep an eye out for our videos. If you guys want to yak at us for anything, just reach out to one of us, and we'll definitely do the same. If there's anything we can promote for you guys, I know that CopBlock and Peaceful Streets, we share the same exact mission. Just it's kind of like Army and Navy, or the Marine Corps and Air Force. We're but not so statist.
Take the government piece out of it completely.
Yeah. Same mission, different names.
That's it.
You got it. You got it.
You got anything else you want to add?
Nah, just to thank these guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, man. It was a good conversation.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you guys and everything.
So yeah, you've been listening to an interview. We've been interviewing Robert and Nathan from Peaceful Streets Project-Sandusky, Ohio. I'd like to thank them for coming on tonight. Hopefully we can have some more people coming on and do these interviews more often. And actually, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to actually have Derek J. Freeman from Victimless Spree and his new project, peacenewsnow.com. And I hope people tune in for that, because I think that's going to be a really fun interview as well. So my name's Eric. You can find me over at freerockpress.com and ohiocopblock.org. And with me tonight, I had Adam from Spokane CopBlock, and you can find them at Spokane CopBlock. Just search them on Facebook, and you should be able to find them. So hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow for Derek J. And until then, remember that badges don't grant extra rights.